Consumer Reports just dropped their latest SUV reliability rankings, and the results are going to surprise you. 9 SUVs scored so high they are being called nearly perfect, with 2 of them sitting at the very top with scores most vehicles never come close to touching. If you're shopping for an SUV right now and reliability matters to you, this list could save you thousands of dollars and years of headaches. We are counting down all 9 from the lowest score to the highest, and the top 2 are absolutely worth waiting for. Let's get into it. The 2026 Toyota Crown Signia lands at number 9 with a reliability score of 77 out of 100. Now, the Crown Signia is essentially Toyota's attempt at a near-luxury SUV, similar to what the Venza used to represent, but executed with more polish and refinement. It runs Toyota's 5th-generation hybrid system, which is a slightly refined version of the same bulletproof powertrain they have been using for years with exceptional results. Owners consistently describe the ride as quiet, smooth, and almost electric vehicle-like around town, which is exactly what you want from a premium hybrid crossover. The vehicle is built in Japan on the kind of clean, deliberate production lines Toyota has become famous for, and that attention to manufacturing discipline shows in the final product. Early owners are reporting 0 rattles and solid build quality straight from the factory, which is impressive for a relatively new nameplate. However, Toyota made some genuinely puzzling design choices with this vehicle. There is no spare tire included, which is a significant oversight for a vehicle in this segment. Console storage is surprisingly limited, and if you are over 6 feet tall, the headroom is legitimately problematic because of that aggressively sloped roofline. These are not deal breakers for everyone, but they are compromises you need to know about before you sign on the dotted line. The hybrid system itself is where this SUV earns its reliability credentials, and for buyers who prioritize fuel efficiency and long-term durability over outright space, the Crown Signia delivers exactly what Toyota promises. Tied at number 8 with an identical 77 out of 100 score is the 2025 Toyota RAV4. And yes, I know the RAV4 only sitting at number 8 might raise some eyebrows given its legendary reputation. But hear me out. The RAV4 is currently in its elder statesman phase. It has been riding on the same generation platform for a while now, and it absolutely delivers on the fundamentals of reliability and fuel economy that built its name. That said, when you stack it against newer platforms from competitors, the cabin technology and overall refinement are starting to feel a little dated. There is a significant debate happening right now in the RAV4 community about whether to go with the gas or hybrid powertrain. Traditional thinking has always favored the gas engine for long-term simplicity and ease of ownership. But here's where it gets interesting. The hybrid's electronically controlled continuously variable transmission actually has no belts or clutches to wear out, which makes the long-term ownership argument far more compelling than it used to be. The main known issue on hybrid models has been something owners have taken to calling cablegate, which refers to corrosion developing on the high-voltage cables. Toyota has mostly addressed this in newer production runs with redesigned cable covers and improved sealing, so it is less of a concern for current buyers than it was for early adopters. Bottom line, the RAV4 remains rock solid in terms of mechanical dependability. It's just not the most exciting or technologically advanced name on this particular list. And that's okay, because excitement was never the reason people bought RAV4s in the first place. At number 7, the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek scores a 78 out of 100. I am going to be completely straight with you about this one. The Crosstrek absolutely earns its reliability score, but it comes with a very specific catch. You take care of it with discipline and consistency, and it will reward you with years of trouble-free service. Skip the scheduled maintenance or cut corners, and it will punish you for that negligence. The biggest example of this dynamic is the continuously variable transmission fluid. Subaru officially designates it as lifetime fluid that never needs changing. The Subaru owner community and experienced mechanics strongly disagree with that assessment and recommend changing it every 30,000 to 36,000 miles. Owners who follow that community wisdom and stay on top of CVT fluid changes report smooth transmission operation well past 150,000 miles, which is outstanding longevity. The 2026 Wilderness trim does get a built-in CVT fluid cooler as standard equipment, which helps prevent overheating during demanding driving conditions, and that is a genuine improvement that addresses one of the platform's known weaknesses. Where the Crosstrek tends to frustrate people is the infotainment system. That 11.6-inch tablet display gets consistently described as laggy and janky, with owners complaining about needing multiple screen presses just to change the temperature while driving, which is not ideal from a safety or convenience standpoint. Despite those frustrations, 90% of owners say they would buy the Crosstrek again, which is an incredibly high loyalty figure. That symmetrical all-wheel drive system remains class-leading for the segment, and if you are willing to stay disciplined about maintenance, the Crosstrek holds up exceptionally well over the long haul. Number 6 is the 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross with a reliability score of 79 out of 100. This vehicle is built for a very specific type of buyer, someone who wants a basic crossover that does not overwhelm them with bells and whistles or unnecessary complexity. The non-hybrid version does catch some criticism from owners. The 2.0-liter engine is noticeably noisy under hard acceleration, the continuously variable transmission drones at highway speeds, and some owners have complained about vibrations that become apparent during extended highway cruising. But the hybrid version is an entirely different story and transforms this vehicle into something genuinely impressive. Real-world owners are seeing nearly 49 miles per gallon in everyday driving conditions. The driving feel is significantly better with the hybrid powertrain, and the cabin is noticeably quieter thanks to the electric motor assisting during low-speed operation. The hybrid is simply the superior version in every meaningful way, period. There are some minor build quirks worth mentioning. The roof rails are held on by double-sided tape in some configurations, which does not inspire long-term confidence. Hybrid models have also been reported to have weak 12-volt batteries that need the car running regularly to stay properly charged, which can be an inconvenience if the vehicle sits unused for extended periods. None of these issues are catastrophic or expensive to address. They are simply things to be aware of as a prospective buyer. For shoppers who want a dead-simple, reliable vehicle that does not ask much of them in terms of maintenance or operational complexity, the Corolla Cross absolutely gets the job done and delivers on Toyota's core promise of trouble-free ownership. Coming in at number 5 is the 2025 Mazda CX-5 with a score of 84 out of 100. This SUV is the textbook example of aging beautifully in the automotive world. Mazda has not executed a radical redesign on the CX-5 since 2017. Instead, they have taken the approach of continuous refinement, gradually improving the Skyactiv engine, the 6-speed automatic transmission, and the suspension tuning with each model year. The 2025 model specifically received new suspension tweaks and updated engine mapping, and owners say it finally hit the sweet spot for ride quality that earlier versions were chasing. The naturally aspirated 2.5-liter engine is a big reason for that 84 reliability score. It is simple, proven, and has none of the turbocharger complexity that introduces additional failure points over time. The transmission is described as smooth and predictable in a way that continuously variable transmissions simply cannot replicate, and that mechanical honesty resonates with buyers who value long-term durability. The CX-5 is also one of the best examples of delivering a premium feel at a mainstream price point. Soft touch materials, nice stitching details, and thoughtful interior design choices genuinely punch above the vehicle's weight class when you compare it to similarly priced competitors. Mazda has produced over 5 million CX-5 units globally as of 2025, and it remains one of the best-built SUVs in its segment. If interior quality and engaging driving dynamics matter to you, the CX-5 is a compelling pick that does not force you to sacrifice reliability for those premium attributes. Number 4 is the 2026 Porsche Macan, also scoring an 84 out of 100. And yes, a Porsche cracking the top 4 on a consumer reliability list is not a mistake or an anomaly. The reason is straightforward and worth understanding. Porsche has been refining the same Macan platform for over a decade at this point, and that extended development cycle shows in the final product. Owners consistently report excellent build quality, solid material choices, and a chassis that does not develop the rattles or suspension slop you typically see in competitors at this price point after a few years of ownership. Unlike a lot of German luxury vehicles, the Macan rarely suffers catastrophic failures that leave you stranded or facing 5-figure repair bills. In the luxury performance segment, that distinction matters more than most people realize when they are making their purchase decision. But here's the full picture you need to understand. Reliability and affordability to own are two very different things with the Macan. After approximately 40,000 miles, oil seeps from the valve cover and timing cover become common issues. Control arm bushings wear down and need replacement. The PDK dual-clutch transmission can start clunking between reverse and drive as it ages. Repair bills in the $800 to $1,500 range become a regular part of ownership once you're past that warranty period. None of it is catastrophic in the sense that it will leave you on the side of the road. All of it is expensive in the sense that it will drain your wallet predictably. So an 84 reliability score means the Macan will not strand you. It does not mean it will be cheap to maintain. Know the difference before you sign on the dotted line and factor those long-term costs into your ownership budget. Third place goes to the 2025 Lexus RX with a score of 84 out of 100. This one is fascinating because the ownership experience is almost split in two distinct categories. On one hand, mechanically, the RX is superb in nearly every measurable way. Long-distance commuters describe it as having essentially zero mechanical issues outside of one specific recurring problem. The ride quality is silky smooth, the cabin remains serene even at highway speeds, and resale value is exceptional even by Lexus standards. That one problem is the 12-volt battery, especially on hybrid models. Because the hybrid system regularly disengages the alternator to save fuel during certain driving conditions, the 12-volt battery does not get charged as consistently as it would in a conventional vehicle. If you're not driving frequently or if your typical usage consists mostly of short trips, the 12-volt battery can drain and sulfate prematurely. Owners in warm climates like Southern California have reported no-start conditions appearing out of nowhere, which is genuinely not something you expect from a Lexus product. The other thing worth knowing is that the RX moved from a smooth V6 engine to a 2.4-liter four-cylinder, and some longtime Lexus owners feel the engine noise and vibration are not what they expected from a luxury vehicle at this price point. Lexus has released a technical service bulletin with an exhaust damper to address the vibration, but for people who have been driving V6-powered Lexus vehicles for years, the difference in refinement is noticeable. If you drive the vehicle regularly and stay on top of the battery maintenance, the RX remains one of the best luxury crossovers on the market. Just know exactly what you're dealing with before you make the commitment. Number 2 is the 2026 Toyota 4Runner with a reliability score of 95 out of 100. Given everything that changed on this truck for the new generation, that score is a serious statement about Toyota's engineering confidence. Let's start with where it is built. The 4Runner comes out of Toyota's Tahara plant in Japan, a facility with a genuine obsession with manufacturing quality that borders on the extreme. The manufacturing engine building section reportedly runs at surgical room levels of cleanliness, and that manufacturing environment matters more than most consumers realize. It shows directly in the output quality. The new 2.4-liter turbocharged inline-4 replaces the legendary 4.0-liter V6, which understandably made a lot of longtime 4Runner owners nervous about durability. But Toyota's engineers claimed this new engine was tested to industrial rather than commercial standards, specifically designed and validated to match the durability of the outgoing V6 that earned a reputation for being nearly indestructible. The platform underneath it is the TNGA-F boxed steel ladder frame, which offers significantly more chassis rigidity and improved rust protection compared to the previous generation architecture. The flagship iForce Max Hybrid puts out 460 pound-feet of torque, which means this is a serious truck, not some fuel economy compromise dressed up as an off-roader. A 95 on a brand-new platform is a bold score that most manufacturers would not risk claiming, and the early owner data is already backing it up with overwhelmingly positive reports. This is the SUV that proves Toyota still knows how to build a body-on-frame vehicle that can handle decades of abuse. And at number 1, the 2026 Honda Passport with a near-perfect score of 97 out of 100. 97 out of 100 is not a number you see often in consumer reliability testing, and here is exactly why it is so high. The Passport is running a 3.5-liter V6 paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. No turbochargers, no hybrid complexity, no experimental technology, just a mature, refined powertrain that Honda has been building and perfecting for over 2 decades at this point. The Alabama plant that manufactures the Passport has produced more than 6.5 million V6-powered vehicles since 2001. At this stage in the production cycle, they are not ironing out bugs or addressing early teething problems. They are executing a proven formula with precision. Owner feedback is overwhelmingly positive across the board. People love the cargo space, the comfort, and what they describe as an old-school, rugged feel, especially in the new Trail Sport trim that adds genuine off-road capability. Now, it is not completely flawless, and honesty demands I mention the caveats. The 10-speed transmission gets some complaints at low speeds, hunting for the right gear and occasionally shuddering under light throttle application. But here is the key word to remember: minor. None of this leaves you stranded. None of it is structural or indicative of a fundamental design flaw. A 97 reliability score means Consumer Reports found almost nothing seriously wrong with this vehicle after exhaustive testing, and that is an exceptional achievement in an era where complexity often compromises dependability. If you're shopping for a two-row midsize SUV and reliability sits at the top of your priority list, the 2026 Honda Passport just made a very strong case for itself as the safest bet in the segment. So, there you have it, 9 SUVs that Consumer Reports considers nearly perfect when it comes to reliability. A few genuine surprises in there, right? The Passport at 97, the 4Runner bouncing back strong with a brand new engine architecture, and Porsche, of all things, cracking the top 4. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. If you're still researching, check out our video on the 10 most fuel-efficient SUVs tested by Consumer Reports, because several of those names just showed up on this reliability list too. And that combination of efficiency plus dependability is worth knowing about. Thanks for watching. See you next time.